Hello and welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses. We are exploring. It's the second weekend of, I don't know, the fourth month of the second year. I don't actually know what that maps to, but anyway.
When undertaking research, the usual method is to form a hypothesis, then test it with experiments.
Sure.
Those experiments reveal facts and falsehoods. Yet sometimes they also unveil an exception. You seem to be that exception when it comes to my crest research. Worry not, Professor. Exceptions are what make my work interesting. Why don't the rules apply to you? I will find out eventually. I feel it is my destiny as a crest scholar.
Oh, good luck.
After we cross the Great Bridge of Murden, we'll be in my father's territory. We actually crossed it 5 years ago for the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Remember?
I do.
Oh, this is terrifying. What am I gonna do? I gotta get a grip.
Ha! Wow. Oh my gosh. What are these options? Like, this one makes it sound like you're actually concerned. This one is just like being a sarcastic jerk. What the heck? I feel like this one is actually nicer than this one, because this one is like, nah, it's just gonna be fine. This one is like, you better be worried. We'll see. I'll bet this might also give heart down points or whatever. We'll see.
You think we'll meet him on the battlefield and he'll kill me? The front lines cover a long stretch of land, you know. We might not even run into him.
He liked that. Even though he then is also like, what? Okay. Whatever.
After we cross the
Oh.
So the Boar Prince is dead. Decapitated, I hear.
What?
I haven't seen the severed head myself. Perhaps he's still alive and leading that army.
Didn't we already talk about this?
You're right. I can't let my emotions take hold. Either way, a major battle awaits us. Try not to die. I'd be annoyed if you did.
I guess I would too.
So, the campaign continues, does it? Well, allow me, as a professional recluse with 10 years of experience, to
10
volunteer
years?
for, staying behind. Oh, who am I kidding? The fighting won't stop until we've defeated Edelgard, will it? Or until we lose, I guess. But there's not much use in thinking about that.
I'm a graduate of the Golden Deer House, but that was a little before your time, Professor. We won the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Of course, we mostly have Holst to thank for that. And now he's the greatest general in the Alliance. I didn't do so great in comparison.
Sorry.
Right.
We might see Edelgard herself leading the enemy in the next battle. If they're coming out of Fort Mercius, our troops might even clash on Gronder Field. And those other troops on the march. Who knows what they'll do, or what side they'll take. Not sure how we're supposed to form a strategy with so many unknowns.
It's easy. Oh, wow.
Hey, how come you only ever flatter me in times like these? What am I supposed to make of that? Anyway, we've come
Nice.
this
I like that she
Let's
didn't
just keep putting one foot in front of the other and
succumb
see
to
how
that.
far we get.
Because that was a ridiculous line.
The Great Bridge of Murden was considerably better fortified than it was 5 years ago. The bridge was full of soldiers, and they all died.
Damn. I guess there's nothing you can do to make Dorothea happy and after the time skip. Like, people are dying, she's just gonna be sad no matter what.
Claude was saying that our next battle might be in Gronder Field. Is that right? Reminds me of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. But of course that was a very different time. When it was over, all three class heads complimented each other on their bravery. And then we had a party. But we can never go back to that, can we?
We can get pretty close.
I gotta keep this place clean, and I mean properly clean, every day. Dust it, sweep it, everything. You never can tell when Lady Rhea might be back.
Dust it, sweep it, stick it in a stew.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report.
I hear we're sending troops to Gronder Field next. Is that what's what?
That whole area is in the territory of House Burgley's. It's famous as the main granary of Fodlan. If we could capture it, we probably wouldn't have to worry about food anymore. Bread for all!
What about the circuses, though?
Since you secured the Great Bridge of Murden, trade got a lot easier within the Empire. Nevertheless, profits are rather thin compared to how it was 5 years ago. You can't be much of a trader unless you're prepared to traverse the whole of Fodlan.
Reconnaissance is becoming more of a risk the deeper we move into enemy territory. If I don't come back, assume I'm dead. I'm glad you think so highly of me, but we have to be realistic. Don't waste your energy worrying about me.
You'll be fine.
I gotta say, it's tough to keep the fighting spirit alive when you recognize your enemies on the battlefield. So you can't avoid it, huh? How did everything get so messed up? Just because we're fighting someone doesn't mean we gotta hate them. That's probably the worst thing about war. Win or lose, I still get a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, well, losing will give you a lot more than a bad taste.
If we defeat the Imperial army at Gronder Field, what will our next objective be? I guess we won't have much choice but to try to take Fort Mercius, on the far side of Gronder Field. It's probably too soon for us to be thinking about that, isn't it? I'm sure it's already occurred to Claude, though.
Well, no, it's not too soon. I mean, that's the whole reason we'd fight at Gronder Field, is to take the fort, one would assume.
I can hardly believe we're crossing the borders of the Empire to battle their army. Never thought I'd see the day. You'd never guess from the calm looks on everyone's faces, though. I mean, we're probably gonna die, let's be honest. If you don't mind me saying, you don't look like you're in the middle of a crisis either. Oh, perhaps that was a little rude of me? Actually, it's the Great Tree Moon now, isn't it? Not that anyone's in much of a mood to celebrate the new year, of course.
Wait, the new year is in the 4th month? What? What?
So, we're finally going to set foot in the Empire. I'm starting to get a little nervous. I guess there's a good chance we'll be fighting more old friends from here on out.
Edelgard's presence suggests that Hubert is around too. He is Minister of the Imperial Household, after all. He's been around Edelgard since they were children. I suppose he must be pretty happy with his current position.
Probably.
I've cut all contact with my family since joining this fight. Were I to see soldiers of the Galatea family amidst the host flying the royal family's banner, well, all chance of reconciliation with my father would end there. I do not know if that is the right path, but the fact is, I've come this far. There's no time for second guessing. Not anymore.
Okay, but I mean, why would they even be opposing us?
Word just reached me that the Empire has stationed soldiers in Fort Mercius.
Just reached you.
If they decide
Yes.
to dig in their heels and defend the fort, we'll be in a difficult situation. I hear it's an impregnable keep, surrounded by high ramparts. Taking it would not be easy.
Hey, I could use a hand.
Find an herb? Okay.
Beyond the Great Bridge of Murden, it's all unfamiliar territory for us. We don't know where Lady Rhea's being held. We ought to investigate all potential locations thoroughly.
I'm sure she's in the capital.
The Knights of Seiros will handle the search. We'll report back if we learn anything.
Don't worry about it until we get to Enbar.
So, we're finally moving into enemy territory. We can expect the war to get even more intense from here on out. I'm really feeling the tension now. I have almost no experience with battles of this scale. Professor, I'll be grateful for your leadership on the battlefield. I know I can trust you.
This may seem to lack the skills required to grieve for the dead. If someone has passed, even someone dear to me, I could stand about and wail or get on with my life. While I'm at it, that whole idea that we must speak well of the dead, I don't understand that either. If I didn't like them when they were alive, then why pretend to do so when they are no longer here?
Linhardt is well known for his social graces.
The Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Has it truly been 5 years since then?
No.
Can you recall whether it was before or after I joined your class, Professor?
Well, it was like right before.
That is not at all the case, Professor. Your memory serves you poorly. It was shortly after I joined your class.
Wait, oh,
Remember it like it was yesterday.
what I meant was she joined my class right before the battle, but oh well. Missed opportunity for hard points. Ugh, I knew what I meant.
We captured the Great Bridge of Murden, but the fight has only just begun. Enbar, the Imperial capital, lies far to the south beyond Gronder Field. And waiting for us on the way there is the entire Imperial army, with twice as many troops as us. We had better brace ourselves.
Thanks to our victory, I've been able to study the Great Bridge of Murden at my leisure. And you know what? It's an astounding structure. So much history there. Imagine how much time and effort it must have taken to build something that big. Over water, no less. I hope that someday it will be opened up to the people of Fodlan, a historical site, rather than a military checkpoint.
That does sound nice.
Since Little Claude became their leader, the Alliance Lords haven't been especially unified. Now they're suddenly united for a common cause. As a result, the Empire hasn't been able to perform even one successful incursion. Rather, we're the ones who might get the jump on them. It's incredible. Magical, even. Maybe his strategic genius was simmering for those 5 years, and it returned to a full boil once you two were reunited. Or maybe he always knew he'd meet you again, and he was preparing for that this whole time.
Well, the former certainly wouldn't, like, make him look that good. The latter, maybe more so.
Professor, the time's come to fight the Empire, huh? Wow, it's shaping up to be quite the battle. And I've got no problem with that. But that mystery army really worries me. There's no indication if they're friend or foe. Who do you think they are, Professor?
Dimitri himself.
Not unless he rose from the grave to secure revenge. That would mean... Actually, I have no idea what that would mean. Well, whoever they are, I hope we can avoid fighting them.
I mean, it's totally... Well, it may not be Dimitri, but... I mean, Dimitri's totally not dead. There's just no way.
I heard that some unidentified troops have appeared, but apparently they were flying the flag of the Fargus royal family. Do you think it was Dimitri's ghost? His country was taken before he ever wore the crown. Surely he must regret that.
Well, if it was his ghost, then that would mean he was dead, which would mean he couldn't regret it, but whatever. I'd like to have a duel with you where we're both giving it our all, but I suspect if we crossed blades without holding anything back, one of us would end up dead. I don't like any of these responses. Yeah, whatever.
Professor, Claude seems filled with confidence, but I wonder if everything really will be okay. The Imperial Army might be hiding the Emperor, and the troops headed south might belong to the Old Kingdom. I'll be honest, I'm incredibly uneasy about all of this. But at this point, there's no option but to move forward.
I trust you and Claude, but I feel uneasy. If we lose in the next battle, the Empire's army will likely come surging into Alliance territory. If that happens, my parents won't escape unharmed. They've raised their anti-Imperial flag after all. Thank you, Professor. I'll fight with all I've got to. Speaking with you has eased my mind a bit. Just enough, in fact, to put me in the mood for sweets.
Okay. It's like... yes, we really needed that reminder that you like sweets.
House Gloucester has changed its allegiance and joined the faction that is against the Empire. The Alliance will thus remain united. But thanks to this latest ploy, my father is more suspicious of Claude now than ever, if such a thing is possible. Ordinarily, I might credit his helpful posture toward us to his devout faith in the Church of Seros. But it is clear to me now that this is nothing more than a shrewd calculation on his part. He is only thinking of his position. We are in the clear for now, but please bear in mind that the Alliance is never an entirely stable union.
Alright, well you can do something about that. If not now, then later.
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
I think I've mentioned before that this voice, the voice actor for this generic voice sounded familiar, and I'm not... I think before I said it was somebody who'd done generics and echoes, I'm actually wondering if it might be Saber. Can't tell for sure, there's not enough to go on, but...
So, we're finally invading Empire territory, huh? There's not much we can do right now, except pray for deliverance. I truly believe that we have it in us to succeed.
We have it in us, then we don't need to pray for deliverance.
We secured the win in our first skirmish, but the next battle is a different matter. The Empire will come after us with everything it's got. Even so, the ultimate victory will be ours. And I'm not just saying that. I've made ample preparations to ensure our victory. It's my rule to never leave victory to chance. You can't rely on the protection of the goddess.
That's
With
true.
your power and my schemes, I should be able to plot a direct course to victory.
If this mysterious military force is the remnants of the kingdom, you'd think there would have been the possibility of a united front. But from what I've heard, that's going to be difficult. Their behavior is very erratic. If they're clamoring for revenge and death, then it's probably better if we have nothing to do with them.
Nobles who are changing allegiance again and again. I do not have understanding for that. How can you trust if treason comes with ease? How can you be calling yourself a noble? I do not have understanding of the reasoning. Survival has more importance than that. Are they not knowing this?
I hear the next battle could be a big one. Is that true? I miss the old days when if someone got hurt, we'd rush them to the infirmary and make them well. But on the battlefield, there's not enough time to help. People die. Professor, don't be one of those.
No chance of that.
Each time we press forward, our search for Rhea broadens to a wider area. I certainly hope we will find at least some clue. But I do suspect I already know where she is.
Enbar.
If I'm right, and she is in the Imperial capital, then we cannot save her until we topple the Empire.
Yeah, see, Sedith is good at figuring things out relative to most of the rest of the people. Turns out we have only a handful of supports to do, starting with Byleth and Annette.
Oh, hi, Professor.
Hi.
Do you remember what we talked about before? About doing my best to not do my best? Well, I've been pretty busy recently, and despite my best efforts, I've been trying way too hard. I was busy all day yesterday with training and work. I just couldn't help myself. That's why I decided to take a day off today. It's just, now that I have a day off, I don't know what to do with myself. Please, you have to help me. What should I do?
Nothing, or have a nap.
I couldn't calm down enough to fall asleep. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm cut out for not doing my best. Oh! You're a professor. You must know some secret technique for deep relaxation, right? If you do, please teach me. I'm begging you. I'm at my wit's end.
Sure. Tea is good. She likes sweets, though, right? I don't know that that's relaxing, particularly.
Got it. I'll try that right now. This candy is so sweet and
of course it
delicious.
doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know why I would have thought it would.
Piping hot tea. Ooh, And speaking of the tea, your brewing skills are incredible.
Really?
I'd love to be able to make such nice tea, but... Oh, Professor, will you teach me how to brew tea like this? I'll do my best to learn, and then I'll make delicious tea for you as thanks.
You look so angry.
Sorry. Back to my old tricks, it seems. Oh, why is it so difficult to not do my best? I try and try to not try, but it just doesn't work. Professor? You're right. Doing nothing is just not my style. To be myself, I've got to do my best every day. Okay. Then you really must teach me how to make such delicious tea. You will, won't you? Please. Oh, and also, well, thank you. You've listened to me and helped me face my troubles. Now I feel like I can talk to you about anything. Honestly, I wish we could go on drinking tea like this forever.
Nothing's stopping you from continuing to drink tea for a while. Well, that was a about face. Okay. I don't know. That was not a great support, in my opinion. It's silly, but it just doesn't do a whole lot.
Oh, Ignatz, what are you sighing over?
Sorry, I shouldn't sigh in such a holy place.
There's nothing wrong with it. I sigh here all the time. The goddess receives all our prayers and our sighs. What's bothering you? I'd be happy to talk about it if you'd like.
Oh, it's nothing. Not worth talking about.
Is that so? Am I not worth talking to?
Ooh.
That's not what I meant. Sorry to offend you. I'll tell you about it. I'm just uncertain about my future. My father wants me to be a knight. I don't think I can handle it. Can you imagine a knight as pathetic as me?
I don't find you pathetic at all. Is there something you would rather pursue?
Well, I've always loved painting.
You want to become an artist? How wonderful!
What's your ambition?
Me? I simply want to help people with their troubles. Those who can't help themselves. I've considered working for the church, but that's only a vague idea. Oh, I'm sorry. We were supposed to be discussing your troubles.
Not at all. I'm actually feeling a little better. Knowing that you aren't sure about your future, I don't feel quite so... alone.
Everyone in this world feels a little lost, you know? I really do believe that the life of an artist is a wonderful dream to pursue. There was a beautiful painting of the goddess in the church where I used to live. Whenever times were difficult, I would stare up at her and sigh. Thinking about that painting helps me even now.
I've always wanted to paint the goddess.
You should. I'm sure your painting will help someone else in their time of need.
I can't paint anything powerful enough to do that. I wish I could. Maybe one day. I'll give that some thought. Thank you, Mercedes.
Why's it gotta be religious, though? Like, why can't you just paint something that's not religious and it still be valuable?
Flayn, I have another question for you, if you please.
Another one, Linhart? When will you leave me in peace?
Never.
A breakthrough has been made concerning your crest. A major crest of Saint Sethline, correct?
Well, yes. I've been trying to keep that quiet.
Part of my interest on this topic is that I possess a minor crest of Sethline myself.
We're like siblings!
Possessing a minor crest is uncommon, but not rare among the noble families. However, a major crest of Sethline, that is beyond rare.
Oh, is it?
I am quite curious as to why you were born with such a rare major crest. Given that mine is a minor crest of the same type, It's possible that you and I are distant relations.
You and I related? I am quite certain that is not the case.
Quite certain.
Do you have access to a detailed ancestry? That could be a most useful tome.
No, I do not. However...
A shame. Oh, to explore one's lineage and investigate such possibilities. Alas, the odds of your being a direct descendant of Saint Sethlene are quite low.
In a way, that's true.
The prevailing theory among respectable scholars is that Saint Sethlene died, having never married.
It's true she's unmarried. Was unmarried, that is. I hate to disappoint you, but I'm not a descendant of Saint Sethlene. Of this,
I suppose you aren't a descendant of yourself.
While I do not subscribe to your absolute certainty, I do agree your relation to her is highly unlikely. Yet there is some connection between yourself and Saint Sethlene.
What was that you were mumbling to yourself?
Nothing. My apologies. Simply thinking aloud. I do hope we can continue this discussion sometime.
He always acts so oddly. It makes me ill at ease.
I don't see what about that was him acting oddly. Acting in a way that gives you discomfort because you don't want to reveal your secrets, sure, but... Alright, exciting news on the instructions department for the first time in ages, which is that Lysithea got magic range +1, or dark magic range +1 specifically, from getting to S rank Reason. So that is cool. Other than that, as usual, nothing particularly interesting.
Professor.
Let's give it our all.
I guess someone's got to do it. We've completed our assignment.
I'll try to put this to use.
It's within my grasp.
I'm glad I'm getting back one step before the next.
I'll make good use of...
I've learned a thing or two from...
Yeah, I under...
Alright, I'm gonna stop here. This weekend will be off-screen auxiliary battles to get more supports. Oh wait, I said I was gonna stop here, but we've got one more support from the group task, so I'll do that and then I will stop.
Hello, Catherine. I thought I might find you here.
Is there something I can do for you, Ash?
Yes. Could you tell me what you know about this?
This is quite an old letter. Where'd you find it?
Ooh, is this about
It was
Lenato?
found in the bishop's room during the inquiry of the Western Church.
I see. It's one of the documents you collected.
This letter mentions my brother, Christoph Caspar, by name. He was executed by the church for allegedly taking part in the tragedy of Dusker. I know you were the one who turned him over. But this letter isn't about that. It's about a plot to assassinate Lady Rhea. If my brother's name is in here, that means this plot predates the tragedy. So there was another plot against Lady Rhea in the past, and my brother was somehow involved.
Ah.
I can tell by your face that you know something. Tell me, Catherine. Please, I deserve to know.
Christoph was a good man. Maybe too good. It wasn't in his nature to mistrust people. So when the Western Church told him that Lady Rhea had to die for the goddess's sake, or the world's, he went along with it.
Just how well did you know my brother?
Christoph and I were friends. We were in the Blue Lion House together at the academy.
If you were friends, why did you hand him over to be executed? There must have been another way.
No. If there was another option, I'd have chosen it. But he was foolish. He went along with the plan to assassinate Lady Rhea. I wasn't motivated by a personal grudge. I had no choice but to turn him in, that much is true.
I can't believe that my brother would try to assassinate Lady Rhea. But if he did, that means the church was lying about his involvement in the tragedy of Dusker, doesn't it?
Lying is a strong word. The world was in chaos, and the church did what it had to. If people had known about the threat to Lady Rhea's life, the panic would only have worsened.
So you're saying everything in this letter is true?
You can choose what to believe. All I know is I let him die, and that's something I can never change. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Catherine, wait! Please!
Ooh, there's some intense stuff going on there that I don't know a whole lot about, because I haven't played the Blue Lions route yet. Anyway, okay, yeah, now we're gonna stop, and I'll next time be doing probably some supports, and then getting started on the mission. So, until then.